still hungry today for a case that I was 60,000 cases ago. I mean, I remember my first names of cases. I still get excited, and I think I think so many of them, I bring in so much business that they're like, oh, I don't have to go hunt and fish, and I got to get them hungry and treat them like family, but at the same time, they got to be motivated.
Welcome to the Tip the Scales podcast, where we discuss running and growing your law firm. I'm your host, Maria Monroy, president and co-founder of LawRank. This week, we have Darryl Isaacs, and he is joining us for a second time. Actually, Darryl was our second guest ever. So if you want to learn about how Darryl got started, I would suggest starting with episode number 2. This time we talked about how he just went to the Gerry Spence ranch. So that was really, really cool. I really enjoyed learning a little bit more about that. We talked about AI because, I feel like that's every other conversation nowadays. And we talked about his upcoming conference. And it is Brain Trust Legal Summit. I believe it's August 24th through August 26th. in Nashville. I've never been, so I'm actually super excited because I've never been to Nashville. He was kind enough to give all of our listeners a $500 off. Use code LawRank, all caps, LAWRANK. We will also include that in the show notes. I hope you guys enjoy this conversation. We want to offer our listeners an exclusive deal. Right now, you can visit lawrank.com/report to get a free competitor performance report. The report will include your top 5 digital competitors and how they're performing in your market, how you measure up to your competitors in the top 3 metrics, and that is referring domains, content, and monthly traffic, and a local SEO report. And this is a visual, it's a map, and this is tracking your Google business profile, and it's going to show you how you rank within a 1-mile radius. Again, all you have to do is go to lawrank.com/report. We will also be putting this in the show notes. Well, welcome back. Very few people make it back. You should feel special.
You always make me feel special.
Aw, I'm happy to hear. All right. So to the man that needs no introduction, Darryl Isaacs, aka the
I
Hammer.
know there's people that don't know me.
I don't know about that. Especially now that you have your own conference and the masterminds and you speak at conferences, I feel like everybody knows who you are at this point. So if you want to, on the off chance that you don't know who Darryl is, he was my second ever guest. And during that episode, we talked about how he got started and all of that good stuff. So if you haven't listened to that episode, I suggest you start there. We will link it in the show notes. But for today's conversation, I kind of want to focus on what is new. What have you learned the past year? I know you were at this, what's it called? The Spencer branch or Spencer method?
The Gerry Spence method, I went to the 3-week trial college, and it was a fabulous experience.
Wow. Tell us about it.
So it's, Gerry Spence, I see why they say he's the greatest trial lawyer ever. He just came up with this method, and it's easy to follow, and it's different. You don't have to be, most attorneys, I mean, we learned this in law school. We're combative, we want to go into combat.
No.
And it's a more, listen, let's just be real, be yourself, be vulnerable, be emotional, come from a place of love. And I loved it. I probably was the weird one. Every day, 3 weeks, I didn't want it to end. I wish they did 5 weeks like in the old days. But and it was in a beautiful Serenity place, gorgeous mountains. They limit you on your Wi-Fi, so you're engaged.
That was my next question. Do you have cell phone service?
Not where we stayed, but they gave us 3 times a day. You had like an hour break, and you could drive about 5-10 minutes to the top of the mountain. And I did that. I mean, I checked in, but I know, and I'm one of those that's on my phone 18 hours a day, and I welcomed it. After about the 3rd day, I thought, this is really nice. This is what life used to be like before cell phones.
That's probably why they shortened it to 3 weeks, though, because I think it's so tough for people now.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, there were some that struggled, but and it was great. We all came as individuals. We left as brothers and sisters, and it's just it's really a unity, and they teach you team. But there's so many great trial lawyers out there, and everybody's got to do what they're comfortable with. Um, I just thought that this was something. I wish I did it 20 years ago, but it's a great experience. I think every attorney should try it that wants to try cases.
Got it. And excuse my ignorance, but you don't go to trial anymore, right?
Well, I'm going to. I haven't tried a case in 20 years, but that's why I went for a refresher. I'm going to start trying cases
Wow.
again. I miss trying
No.
cases. My career started as a trial attorney. It's going to end as a trial attorney.
That is so exciting. I didn't know this.
I used to try. Yeah, my first 2 years out, I had 80 in litigation. I was
Well, no, no, I knew you used to, but I didn't
crazy.
know.
But I mean, when I started in '92, and then '96, I went on TV, and within 6 months, I had 1,500 new cases. I was going crazy. So I started hiring attorneys and just trained them. And, our firm does a ton of litigation, but I want to get back into it. So I'm trying to take me out of the day to day operations, and I can go start, working with some of our attorneys and track cases again.
That's amazing. Congrats. That's really
Thank you.
exciting. So tell me, and I don't know if you're allowed to share this or not, but what was like the structured like? What did you do during those 3 weeks? Like, what did the
Oh,
days
each
look
day
like?
they, each day we get up at 9. We went 9 to 12. Then we had a 2 hour break, and then we went 2 to 5. And then we had a 2 hour break, and then we went 7 to 9 or 10. And they worked on everything. They worked on ourselves. They worked on every part of the trial. You know, opening, closing, cross, storytelling, direct. Um, we did a lot of psychodrama, which is so cool.
That was my next
Non-attorneys do
question.
psychodrama. My whole life psychodrama. I loved it. I thought, man, this is so cool. So
Tell us a little bit about that. That was my next question because I've heard from, I think it was Joe Freed. I think Joey Lowe has done it.
yeah,
Dan
Joey
Ambrose.
Lowe, Joey Lowe's running it now.
Right, right.
And all psychodrama is it just gets you back to, everybody's got issues. We all got baggage, and sometimes psychodrama helps you deal with your past. And for me, I'll just say my experience was I had some issues that were undone, and I got to do psychodrama, and I got to confront them and face them and deal with them, and then it just makes me a better person. So
I've heard.
everybody's psychodrama is totally different. It's up to them, but I can only speak for me. It was a eye opener experience.
What is psychodrama? Like, how does it work?
I can't give you exact definitions, but psychodrama is you have role reversal, and like for me, I had mom issues, so they had people. Someone would
Don't
play
we
my
all?
mom. Yeah, well, we all have baggage, but I didn't get to say goodbye to my mom when she died, and I just had some issues, and so you go and you set a scene, and it's safe. Everybody, no one judges you, and you have different people playing different parts, and you confront it. And you, I was very emotional. It was just, you know, I mean, the greatest human emotion is love. And I think we all aspire to have it, but some of us sometimes don't recognize it. And it's a gift. And I think they gave me this gift. They gave me a second chance to go in and work on stuff that probably never would have done if they didn't say, "Hey, we're going to do this." So they challenge you. The thing I tell everybody if they ask what it's like at the Jerry Spence College, you get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Hmm.
That's you know. But there are courses, there are psychodramatists all over the country, and I want to go do something that's not law related. Um, a lot of lawyers, become good in psychodrama, and so I want to learn more about it because we were exposed to 3 days, and I want to go and learn more. It was really good.
Yeah, I've heard some crazy stuff comes out during it.
But they nothing is dangerous, and everybody's safe. I mean,
Well, yeah. It's not like you're
and
doing
I think people,
ayahuasca or anything like that,
yeah, no, no.
which I really want to try, by the way.
I I think you should try psychodrama. And I'll tell you what, at some point I'm going to research and find out where they are. They're all over the country. I'll share it with you in case you ever want to try it.
No, I definitely want to try it. So many people have told me about it. Everybody has done it at Jerry Spence. That's how I knew about it.
Right.
Um, it also kind of reminded me of like, what's it called? Family constellations. It's like very similar, where
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
people
I could
play
see
like a
that.
role, um, and like all of your issues come out, which I think is good because how do you get past them? You know, like if they don't come out,
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm not, gosh, I got 1,000 issues. So
don't we
for me,
all?
it was great.
That's good. Some people don't want to deal with their issues, so
I know. I
um,
know.
there
I
was
didn't for a long time, but they showed me and I thought, I got to jump in. And I felt like there was, every day there was fires and I ran right into it.
I think that's like the best way to do things, you
Right.
know, just like face it, you know,
Right.
head on. All right. So now, since the last time we spoke, besides now going back into trial, which is super cool, what else are you working on or what have you learned? I know you're working with so many law firms through your mastermind. Have you noticed any like anything that keeps popping up that you think all
Yes.
lawyers, okay, what?
AI.
Ooh.
And I don't know anything about it. It's going to change everybody's world. It's going to make us better, more efficient, but it's also going to eliminate jobs. So I know I was telling I was on a coaching call today with one of my mastermind groups, and everybody's scared to death of AI. And I thought the one the one person AI can never replace is a trial attorney because AI has no human emotion. So that's why I'm telling everybody in our groups, you got to start trying cases because we got a lot of firms that don't try cases in our groups. Some do very well, some just won't do it. And but we are going to where every employee is going to have like Microsoft AI or whatever. I don't even understand what it is, but you know AI. Like my brother was showing me, he worked on a project that would have taken him 10 hours, and because of AI, it took him 45 minutes. But as an
Wow.
attorney, you can't quote it because I don't know how good the sources are.
Well, you saw the
So,
lawyer that got in trouble.
yes, that's why I say I'm giving a disclaimer. Do not just do AI and go into court and file some motion without documenting and verifying your sources.
Well, it's crazy because I was on a call with a law firm the other day. Three partners, all trial lawyers, awful. Oh, and I'm sorry because one of them listens to this. I'm sorry. Awful business name. I did not like it. I was like, we need a new name. And they were like, you have no idea how difficult it was for the three of us to agree on this name. And the night before, I had just upgraded to the Chat GPT. So I was like, well, I have an idea. Let's go to Chat GPT. So I go to ChatGPT and I put in three serious trial lawyers from such state, one word, because I want the next three words to be personal injury lawyers. Give me some ideas. So literally, it spits out 10 names. One of them was amazing. Like, I can't say
Okay,
it because we're working on a trademark,
sure.
but we could not believe it. We were like, they went in, bought the URL on that instance. All three agreed on the name. Literally, this took a minute.
Right. And they probably saved 10 grand an agency or like going to a company that's going to rebrand. Because, you know, you used to be able to do stuff like that with like 99 designs. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you get, you know, but
Yeah.
no,
Well,
it's
no, I
changing the
billed
world.
them 10 grand for that. No, I'm
Oh,
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Daryl.
good for you.
No, I wish. I was like, hey, you guys
No,
go
but
because it's
I
a
know a
great name.
lawyer that used to be in my group and he paid a company 10 grand to rebrand. And I love his brand. I mean, I would have paid 10 grand for it. But you just went on ChatGPT, whatever it's called. You said you got it one time, didn't cost you anything except your time, which I know is valuable. But and you love the name, so that's what our new world's coming to.
No, the name is so good. It could be like a national. Like it was a. We were blown away. We couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it wasn't taken because
Right,
it was. There was some cleverness in there. So like it took two words and like combined them into one, but shortened the letters.
right,
So
right.
there was like an overlap. We loved it. We were very excited. So I agree. I don't think that people should be afraid of it. It's like, how can you utilize it? And, I mean, you have to be
Well, think of
smart.
this. Think of this, Maria. What is everybody afraid of? Change? It's because they don't
Yes,
understand it. It's
correct.
not comfortable. Um, and this world is changing daily.
I like
So
change.
I'm going through it at work. I'm not sure everybody likes what I've done, but I came back and we've made some major changes.
What did you do?
Well, we're my love of my life, my office manager for 21 years, is officially retiring. She's going to be 70,
Oh, wow.
and sadly, um, the longest employee I had, David, was our maintenance guy, and he was a Vietnam vet. When he died earlier in the year, it just crushed her because they've been together forever. They're not. I mean, they're not romantic. I mean, they've been work buddies for 30 years. Well, I'm sorry, Dave's been with me 30. She's been with me 21. So I'm just going. She's retiring, and I've just decided I'm going in a new direction. So, but I'm just, it's a changed world, and we've done everything for 20 years, and I can't keep doing it. It's funny. I go and I coach these firms, and I tell everybody what to do, and then I looked in the mirror, and I'm like, I'm not doing what I'm telling everybody. So I'm making some big changes. The biggest change is I'm taking myself out of the day to day. I'm going to name somebody that's going to start running the firm because I want to go try cases. I want to travel. I want to coach. I want to help. I've made a commitment to help a lot of law firms, and I'm working on something else that has presented itself after my thing in August. I think I've got a way that I'm going to partner with someone that can help every firm in America. So someone approached me, and never thought of it, but I'm honored they did. So it's cool. So I want to give back. I mean, I've really achieved. I mean, I've built this firm. We've done 2 billion. I don't want to be the largest, the biggest, the baddest. I want to help lawyers. I don't know why it's my passion, but that's what I want to
I mean, but you are. You definitely are helping
do.
lawyers.
And like today, I mean, I had a couple of your clients on our coaching thing, but one of them is killing it, and he's such a fabulous attorney. I mean, I'm just sitting there thinking, gosh, he's really good. He doesn't have confidence, but you know this. Some of your clients, they're great. They're great law firms, and they're getting all this new business, and they just don't think much of themselves. And I'm like, man, you all are killing it. You need to look in the mirror and say, wow, I'm doing something really good. So anyway, we're just we're going through. It's just hard because really in the history of my firm, I've only had two office managers really to speak of because I had one intern for like 6 months, and that was a fiasco. So in 30 years, I've had two people.
So many people are having issues like keeping their employees,
But
and
yes,
yet you've created a culture where you have employees that have been with you for so long. What do
I
you
know.
attribute that to?
I treat them like family. Okay, there's pros and cons. So a year ago, when I came on the show, or whenever I did, I used to be anti working remote. I'm softening because I've got so many valuable employees that are like in Florida, Colombia, everywhere. I'm changing my stance on that. But if you treat them like family, they will stay forever. The only downside is some of them get complacent very easy. So getting them motivated is challenging. I mean, I got so many attorneys been with me 20 plus years, and I'm like, guys and girls, we still got to be I'm still hungry today for a case that I was 60,000 cases ago. I mean, I remember my first names of cases. I still get excited, and I think I think so many of them, I bring in so much business that they're like, oh, I don't have to go hunt and fish, and I got to get them hungry and treat them like family, but at the same time, they got to be motivated. And
Like, how do you keep them motivated? Like, how do you make them hungry?
I just think you got to keep it real. I'm honest with people. There's some years we didn't do as well. There's other years we couldn't handle the business. Right now, we are getting so much business. We're not adequately moving cases. We're not doing things we need to do. So I pretty much am telling everybody, you know, everybody's going to basically reapply for their jobs. I'm not saying submit an application. I'm saying we're going through and we're going to, I think we got some seats. We got people on the bus in the wrong seats. So we're going to move some people around. And I don't think some are going to like it. I think some are going to thrive. But I just think every now and then, if you get real stale and complacent and you're not growing, I think you just gotta change things up. But I do think one thing I've never been big on, and I'm going to do, is you got to give them goals and you got to hold them accountable. I think accountability is the best thing you can do. I talk to so many law firms; their culture is 100 times better than mine, and the difference is they're holding them accountable, and I haven't been. So I'm bringing back accountability. We're also going to give everybody written job descriptions, what their job description is, what we expect from them. And then if they choose to stay, then great. If they, want me to help them get in our job, I'll do that too.
So we use a tool called Culture Amp. You should check it out.
Culture amp. Yes. Will you
Amp.
send that to me? I'll
I
look.
will. I will. We'll
Forward
link it
that.
in the show notes too for everybody listening, but I'll send it to you, Darryl.
Okay. Perfect.
Um, it's it's somewhat aligned with EOS for those firms that run on EOS, but I don't think it's not a part of EOS. And there are a couple others that are similar, but we like it because you have all the goals in there, and then you do quarterly reviews through the app with them, but
Oh, okay.
also you do surveys.
We're
So
getting ready to do a survey. Oh, I didn't say that. We're going to do anonymously. We have a company.
yes,
I don't want anybody to worry about. I'm not seeing it. We're not going back and looking at their. We're doing 100% anonymously. But we've decided we want to see where everybody is. We want to take their concerns. I mean, I know there's going to be people saying, "Oh, I hate this place," and some say, "I love it." I want them to tell us what they're looking for, and I want them to be honest. And then we'll take that in consideration. I love what you said.
and
Okay.
maybe it just tells you in the platform, but it actually tells you all the things that are important for employees. And like one that I actually thought of when you talked about your office manager is, do I have a best friend at work?
Yeah.
And I guess that's a really important thing to employees. That, and does my employer care about my growth?
Yes. I
So
agree.
it
I love
actually,
both of those.
there's like 15 of them. So it gives you, and then the surveys are based around these questions. So you can go in and like say, oh my God, we have a culture issue because everybody's voting on this one thing. Right.
Right.
So it's fascinating. I think you should check it out because once you guys implement it, you don't need to keep paying an agency. It's not the cheapest tool, but I definitely think it's super worth it because you can
Okay.
do you can do the write ups, you can do reviews, you can do the surveys, and they're anonymous. So you're getting all this feedback that is anonymous.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to, yeah, because I know we're sending it out. I'm going to check it out. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay, what else are you noticing besides AI and people being afraid of AI? What is like
Um,
a reoccurring theme from everyone that you coach?
Everybody's worried about that their, safer cars are going to make less accidents. But, when airbags came out, it caused more problems. Um, the biggest thing I'm advising all the firms in our group is to diversify. And you can't just say, oh, I'm going to go throw money in mass torts. I mean, if you like for us, we didn't take construction accident cases. Now we're taking them. I mean, we didn't used to take a lot of dog bite. Now we got hundreds of dog bites. I mean, we got thousands of truck cases. 5 years ago I had 15. You have to expand and you have to be open. And so I'm trying to get everybody not to be pigeonholed in just one area, and they got to put themselves out there. You know, I said this. I think I say it every time. I don't like social media. I think it's the curse of the century. I think it's a bullying tool for young kids. But whether I like it or not, it's here to stay. And I used to tell everybody, but I know you know this answer is, who do you think the number one search engine in the world is? And everybody said Google. It's not Google. It's TikTok.
TikTok.
And so and now Facebook had all the old users like over 65. Well, guess what? They're all coming to TikTok. I mean, whether they get shut down or not, I know my state sued them That's why they hate. Well, I think TikTok doesn't like me anymore, but they don't like lawyers. But Kentucky's attorney general sued them. But at the end of the day, I know you got kids, I got kids, whether we want to or not. They're growing up in a world with social media. So I think we need to educate our kids better. I think we need to educate us. And the lawyers that keep trying to educate, you would be blown away. On today, I think there's 12 firms in this coaching group, and every one of them are doing social media now. When I started in January, only one was. And I keep telling them, I mean, I did a 3 month span test and I got 14 wrongful death cases from TikTok. Do I like it? No, but it's a form of getting cases. So, and the good thing about social media, if you want to find a positive, is it levels the playing field for a small firm versus a big firm like us who spend millions of dollars on TV. Guess what? They can go on social media and for a tenth of what I'm spending and get cases. And they don't have to go on TV. So, they got to do, everybody's got to do internet. You don't have to do billboards, but you got to do, I think, SEO. I think you got to do LSA. I
Thank
think
you.
you got to, you know,
So
yeah,
wait,
everything you're
you
doing.
don't think SEO's dead?
No, no. Are you kidding me? I
No, no,
mean,
no. I know it's not, and I know you know it's not. So I'm being a brat, but I still get some people say that sometimes, and I'm like, okay.
well, how many of your clients I know in my group that you get them lots of cases on SEO? It's not dead. Now, do people like it? No. And SEO is harder to measure. I mean, LSA, you know exactly what the cost is and when you get it and everything. But I don't know, and I just think social media is something we all have to accept and learn. And you don't have to like it, but you have to do it. I mean, there's one law firm, and I won't say the name because
But
he's
wait. Hold on.
okay.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit.
Okay.
I think certain lawyers are just really bad at it.
Okay, but why are they bad at it? What's your opinion on the ones you know? What? Tell me one characteristic why they're bad at it.
I think they're not energetic enough. I think all of their posts are about PI, and people don't really give a fuck. Like, like
Yep.
sprinkle it in with your real life and like what you're up to. And I think they're not being authentic because they're nervous.
Okay, you're so spot on. I can't debate you. I can tell you this. First foremost, do you know you mentioned the number one mistake I tell people? Why do they go on social media and say they're a lawyer and they do PI cases? The worst thing you can do. Okay, here's how I link it. Imagine before COVID, the old days, when you go to a car dealer, you couldn't get out of the car where the salesmen were like piranhas. They met you at your door. I would tell them, let me get in the store. Let me get in and look at the cars, and then I'll talk to you. PI attorneys make that mistake. I did it too. I did the first couple of weeks. I'm a PI lawyer, yada, yada, yada. It didn't work. It wasn't until I just said, screw it. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be Darryl. And I don't even, for a while, I didn't even say I was a lawyer. In fact, so many of my following tell everybody, a lot of people say, who is this guy? Oh, he's this famous PI lawyer. I don't say I'm a PI lawyer. They do. And so what I'm saying is the number one thing people want authentic, you mentioned authentic, that's the number one thing they can do. The second thing is don't talk as a lawyer. Talk as a human being, share human life experiences. I mean, for me, I've got 2.5 million views on a crouton thing. And that my point is, it doesn't, you just, lawyers are boring people. Rock stars have all these followings. I mean, you know, we don't have a lot of following. We're not interesting, but our daily lives can be interesting. And you got to find out what resonates with people. But I agree 100% with what you said. Now, there are certain attorneys that don't photograph well, don't come across, don't communicate. In those rare examples, they're going to have to find somebody at their firm that can not even do it for them, but assist them. Like if you notice a lot of my TikTok videos, Claudia's in a lot. Everybody loves us as a team. I don't think they like me by myself. I don't even think they like her by herself. They like a team. So that's what we do.
Yeah, Jen does it too. So Alexa's in a lot of them, and
Oh yeah. Jen's a master. She's the one that got me on this. Jen's crazy good. on social media. I mean,
I know. We always
and
give her a
it's
shout out.
natural
It's so
for her
funny.
now. I mean, look, no one likes, look, I've shot 1,000+ commercials. I was terrible in the beginning. I may still be terrible, but I can do it now. When I first did videos, I didn't feel comfortable. TikTok, I hated it. But now, like today, I've been gone 3.5 weeks. So I spent about 3 hours with Claudia. We probably shot 30 videos today. I
In
mean,
three
and all of it,
hours?
huh?
In 3 hours?
Oh, yeah. And that's because we had to drive different places. No
That's
scripts.
amazing.
She just went, would sit there and ask me questions. I'd drop something. I put on a shirt backwards. I mean, everything's a story. She just follows me. And then she talked me into going to fireworks to do a July 4th. And I ended up spending like 800 bucks on all this fireworks. I don't want to light it. So I'm sitting there thinking, I got to give it to some people, and I'm hoping they don't blow their hands off.
Talk about a lawsuit.
I know. I know.
Oh, that's really funny. I mean, no, I agree with you. I just think that lawyers need to be honest in evaluating their own social media and say, is this entertaining? Is this helpful? Am I good at it? And if not, like, how do I get better at it? Than just posting for the sake of posting. Like, I see some videos that I just cringe. And I don't even
Right.
know, like, I just think I would come across too bitchy being like, hey, by the way.
There's one attorney on the call that says, Darryl, I'm just not comfortable with it. I said, I know, but you will get comfortable. You just gotta pretend. For me, the easiest thing. This is the best advice I give. Just pretend you're talking to a family member. Just keep it real. Don't
I
be
mean, I
someone you're
think
not.
it's fun personally. I wish I was doing more. I think I need someone like you have that can like help me like
Right.
do it. Like for me, most of my videos are like just part of podcasts, right?
Right.
Like randomly I'll do like, a random one.
I can't come up with the ideas, but I can roll with them. I can. She can throw me a word, and I can go with it.
Yeah, that's my problem. I have a hard time coming up with ideas. And
Well,
like
guess what?
back
Now you got AI. You
I
can
know,
sit
I guess I
down
could
and
ask it. Yeah.
you could. I bet if you I bet you get 1,000 ideas from AI.
Yeah. I mean, I just think I don't want to deal with that. No, and back to like the whole part of being authentic, like my husband will come up with like these great ideas that would be hilarious, but it would require me to be something I'm not. So I'm like, I'm just not a silly person. Like, how many times have you
Right.
hung out with me, Darryl? Have I ever come across to you like I'm silly? Like maybe
No.
sarcastic, right?
Well, you're knowledgeable. You're genuine. You're not loud. You're not obnoxious. You're not like a lot of people that have
Or
in
even
your
just
industry.
silly. Like it's just
Right.
not I'm not silly. Like that's not how so he comes up with all these like silly ideas and I'm like I'm not doing that. Like it's not going
Tell
to
him to
happen.
do it. Tell him to be the
He is
face if he
silly.
wants to do
He
it.
he is silly. He would be great. Like he was a stand-up
Right.
comedian for like okay, but let's go back to let's talk a little bit about your conference. And why are you having it on my birthday? Is it like a birthday party for me?
I didn't know it was your birthday, but I'll tell you this: the only reason I had to do it on that day, it's the only dates in the year they had available. We switched it from Vegas to Nashville, and we didn't think about getting dates. And when we started looking at like February, January, February, we had two dates. It was August. It was then, um, and the hotel we got can't. It, I mean, there could be 600 people. I don't think it'll be 600, but last year there was about 450, but we can't have more than 600. But last year we had, I think, 50,000 square feet. I think this year we only got like 30,000, which is still plenty. But it's the only time they could do it, and I didn't like the dates because I wanted to do it maybe the following week at the end of August because I don't know if people still will be taking kids to college or, you know, but I didn't have a choice, so I had to go with it.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like when school starts in a
I
lot of
know, I
states.
know.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about this conference, and the thing that's going to be different than last year is last year, I'm just going to come out and say it. I asked a lot of attorneys, and a lot of them got up and they sold their services. I'm not going to name who, but I want people to teach and educate. I want people to make everybody better instead of getting up and trying to sell them in their programs. And um, so this year I'm getting a little different, and I'm having some different speakers. I'm having a few of the last year, but and I've listened because initially we were going to say, "Oh, let's build you to a $1 billion firm," and so many attorneys said, I don't even do millions yet. And I thought,
Right.
well, then, you can't say, okay, I'm going to make you an Olympic swimmer if you don't know how to swim. So I started asking everybody, what do you want? What do you want? Now, I need to know how to get cases. So we're going to show them how we get cases, how you can data mine. Some wanted to know how to do some case management system. So, like Andrew Fickelstein is the master at that. So he's going to be appearing on 2 different days. But inventory control, um, we're now going to make AI a big part of it because everybody doesn't understand it. And even though I don't understand it, I'm going to bring some experts in that do.
I think Even
And
Up is going, right?
I'm sorry.
Even Up is going?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. No, they're going to be a sponsor. But yeah, I mean, gosh, they're killing it. I mean,
I know.
it's and I actually talked to Ray before you called. He called me and had a quick question. Um, every
So
time
for
I
those
talk to
of
him, I'm like,
you that don't know, hold on, let's Ray is one of the co-founders of Even
oh
Up,
yeah,
and
I'm sorry. Ray is one of the
he's
co-founders of
amazing.
Even Up. Listen, me talking to Ray. Let me see if I can put this in perspective. Imagine I'm a Ford Pinto and he's a Lamborghini. I can't even understand his language, but what he dummies it down for me because I tell everybody I'm average intelligence. Ray delivers it to me in a way I can understand maybe 1%. Um, but attorneys have to learn AI because it's the cutting edge. And
And just to
so
give everyone context, what does Even Up do?
Even Up will come in and do your demands. It's really a cool service. Um, they will take your information, they will put it in a format where they can take all the medical bill codes, they can take reports, they can summarize, they can make these phenomenal demands. Like I used to send a 1 page letter, send me the money. And then we tried to write, a couple pages. They can make it so good. I mean, it's almost like, where does this come from? And at the end of the day, you still got to have possibility to try a case if they don't give you full value. But we are starting to do it. We're starting to use companies to get our medical records, and like Even Up can get our demands.
And Even Up will
Um,
also tell you what they believe it's worth, right? Like they say they're like the
well,
anti
yeah, they
Colossus.
they use adjusters and they use people that know the Colosso system, like Allstate and all these insurance companies. Yeah, they can give you ranges and values. But I'm going to tell you something that we do, and every firm should be doing it. And I didn't come up with this idea, but I think we've really perfected it. If you have more than one attorney working on a file, and unless you can train that attorney to think everything you, the owner, does, you need to have a committee, and every single case before they ever get value needs to be discussed in a committee setting. So, my example is we used to have cases that maybe someone would settle for 150 grand. Well, what if that case could be worth 2 or 300 with the right circumstances? Not everyone. So we started putting it through a committee, and I think we've done over 500 now, and all 500 have gotten met or exceeded the value we put on it. Like, we have our trial attorneys. Well, if I could get this kind of verdict. So anytime you can, like, and Even Up and all them, anytime you can study trends, like I'm assuming with case management documentation, like every adjuster, if you have one adjuster, what they pay. I mean, you got to study all this. So one person can't just go, oh, I see this and it's worth 80,000. You need to get multiple set of eyes on it, and it will bring. I mean, it's brought millions to our firm.
Wow. That's crazy. That's awesome. Okay, so back to Brain Trust Legal.
Okay,
You're
so we're having this event the 24th, 25th, 26th. Um, you know what, Maria? You all are going to get a discount code because you're sponsoring it. I'll create it today. What do you want it to be? Law rank?
yes.
Okay. In fact, I'm going to do it while I'm on here with you. It's going to be all cap and make it for $500 off.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Darryl.
So, well, you know what? I just want to fill seats. My goal is not to make money on it. I don't want to lose money. I put 1,500,000 up, but I want to help everybody. So we're going to do that. But a couple things. We're going to run out of rooms because we only got 250 rooms. There was some other event. And so even though we got 30,000 square feet, we wanted 500 rooms. We only got 250. I don't know how many we have left, but if they're going to go, they need to grab a room. Now, it's not the end of the world if they don't stay at the Omni. But, you've been to these events where it's over, you go out and you come back. What do? You go back to the bar and everybody's networking. And then you start talking to other lawyers, other vendors. So I love being in the hotel where the event is happening.
Oh,
And
it's a non-negotiable for me.
yeah, I think it's important. You go back each night. Listen, this event's more for the sole practitioner or the small firm. I mean, yesterday I took a call. He signed up and he's out of Portland and he's just got three people. And he called me and I spent about 30 minutes and he was blown away. And I thought, wow, I'm just helping you. You can help someone else. But he's like, I don't know what to do here and there. And I thought, okay, you can come, you can hear lectures, you'll learn. But what you really need to do, all the vendors there, they can help you, you know, and you need to network and you need to just hang out at the bar at night, even if you don't drink. How many times have you gone down to these events and there's 50 people there and you walk around? You don't have to, I don't even drink most
I
times.
didn't drink at your last conference. I was
Yeah. And,
completely sober the whole time.
but you can network. And that's where I
Totally.
think these attorneys, some are going to need your service. Some are going to need even up. I mean, that's what I mean. They need to come because the thing I realized doing this event, it brings everybody together. One vendor last year told me they got 36 clients. And I thought, man, I felt good about myself because there's that many lawyers that needed help. So I don't know. I'm biased. I think there's a lot of events, but I think this will be good. And there's going to be some amazing. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, Andrew Finkelstein. I mean, Andrew was in 1994. He was paperless. I wasn't even paperless until COVID hit, and I'm still not good at it. I mean, I'm sort of thinking, how is he in '94 when like internet wasn't what it is today? I'm just blown away. And then I look at like Darren Miller. I mean, that guy came out of nowhere. He's done over $1 billion. Um, I'm having Jacqueline Bertel, and if you've never heard Jacqueline, she is amazing. I mean,
Yeah, from
we
Bighorn, right?
switched. She's from Bighorn. I mean, she came to my place in Florida, and she did this one presentation, and my brother Mark was there, and we literally said, "Oh my God, we're going to implement it like tomorrow." It was sick. It was so cool. There's so many people, but it's just going to be. I don't know. I think it's going to be a great event, and I'm really blessed that like Rob Levine. I don't know if you've heard Rob Levine, and Rob cusses a lot. I tease him, but Rob is probably the greatest teacher I've ever seen. He is a freak of knowledge. Um, I don't know. There's just going to be so many people there, and everybody wants to come. And it's funny because last year, everybody said, "Oh, I had, I had over 100 emails from attorneys that came and said it changed their lives," and I didn't expect that. So that's because my staff is like, "Why are we doing it again?" I thought because we change people's lives, and that's why we're doing it.
I'm excited. I've actually never been to Nashville. I'll be there.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I'm gonna fly in the 24th.
Well, then you're going to be at the first night, the country party or the big happy hour.
Oh, so it's
Because
not on my birthday then. My birthday's the 23rd. I don't know why I thought it was. So it
oh
starts the 24th.
yeah, it starts
Oh,
that
then
Thursday.
at night.
Yeah, well, if you're an attorney, all I'm asking is to get registered because I don't want to try to register 500 attorneys Thursday morning. But if we can get a lot of people registered, and then I think like from 3 to 5 we'll register, and then like from 5 to 7 or whatever, we'll have a big happy hour. I think Lee's going to play at the Country Music Hall, which is next door, where we're going to have it. And then all day Thursday and all day Friday, we're going to go. And I don't know if you remember last year, because Haley came up with all these ideas. We didn't want people to leave. So they kept having like donut walls and they had massages and they had all this stuff for people and we'll feed you. But we just want you to network and hang out with the vendors, hang out with other attorneys. And, I think last year we had a love connection. Someone told me they got engaged. I thought it was so cool.
Really?
Yeah. I sent an email. I should have saved it. Um, I don't know. And then we had a couple lawyers that formed a law firm there. I mean, they said, you know what? We decided we met. We had a lot of interest, same city, and I think it's cool.
That's
So
really cool.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm super excited. I can't wait.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Darryl, for joining us again. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for having me. So it's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much to everything Darryl Isaacs shared with us today. If you found this story valuable, please share it with someone you want to see succeed, and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and leave a 5-star review. It goes a long way in helping others discover the show. Until next week.